The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria has shut the gate of the Osun State High Court, demanding improved welfare from the state government. The protest is coming at a time the state has no substantive head of judiciary. TVC News' Rafiu Hamid reports.
As early as 8 o'clock in the morning, entrance gate of the State High Court, Okefia, has been shut against judicial officers and other civil servants working in the court. Many of them had to park their vehicles outside the gate. A number of security operatives were also stationed around the premises to forestall breakdown of law and order. Pasted on the gates are placards, which the members of the Judiciary Staff Union used to make the demands bordering on their welfare.
The unlawful suspension of our members. According to the rules, for any officers to be sanctioned for any misconduct, such a officer must be duly investigated and be interrogated by the Judicial Service Commission. But in this case, it was a unilateral decision of the Honorable Chief Judge, which is against the rules. And these people have been on this suspension more than 3 years. We can't just keep on waiting for nothing. So we must rescue our members, and CJ must come out bold to reinstate these people.
The chairman of JUSUN, who denied that the protest was being sponsored, coming at a time when the state chief judge was suspended by the governor, said they have explored internal mechanisms to get their matter addressed, but proved abortive.
Should the demand of workers be sponsored by anybody? We work here, we are not slaves. We have rights to speak out and to make demands for all that has been approved by government for us. And that is what we are doing. Why should we say it's being sponsored by who? I'm not aware of CJ's suspension, and it is not even part of our own concerns. It is between the government and the judiciary.
They promised to continue picketing the court until their demands are met. The picketing is coming 4 days after Justice Adepeluju was suspended by the governor as the state chief judge, while no replacement was sworn in. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.
Let's return to Osun State now about that story where the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria shuts the gate of the Osun State High Court, demanding improved welfare from the state government. And of course, the protest is coming at a time the state has no substantive head of the judiciary. Joining us is Yemi Abiono. He is chairman, Nigeria Bar Association, Osogbo branch. Mr. Abiono, what really is your position on the issue of suspension of Chief Judge Oyebola Ojo? We understand you tried to submit the position of the NBA to the state government. How far with that?
We tried on Friday to submit our letter to the position of NBA Osogbo. Governor, who were informed on Friday. We are informed on Friday, 17th of November 2023, that those who are supposed to receive our letter were not on seat. The same thing today, we went to the governor's office to submit it. We were categorically turned down by the lady officer in charge. They have been instructed not to take any letter from lawyers, from MBA. For now, that was what he actually said. But our position, as far as MBA Osogbo, which was also communicated to our national headquarters and which is also in tandem with the position of the National Secretariat of the NBA as released, is that the House of Assembly, or State House of Assembly, has no power under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to suspend or ask the Honorable CJ to step aside from his from activity as a CJ. It is not within their power at all.
All right.
Or it's not within the power of the governor to also approve any suspension of the CJ or any action whatsoever, any disciplinary, to take any disciplinary action whatsoever against the CJ of the state.
I get
this,
that.
Is a provision
I get that, Mr. Abiono. Now, the State High Court was actually picketed earlier today. Does that have anything to do with the suspension of the Chief Judge?
I was made to believe that that was one of the allegations, leveled against the CJ. What the High Court was picketed by members of the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, Osun State chapter, and I was made to believe that the questions they were raising today during the picketing was actually one of those things before the House of Assembly that made the affidavit to make that resolution. But now, as it stands, they are picketing. The allegations are either true or not. They still stand as allegations up to today. And unfortunately, the person they are protesting against is not even on seat. He has been, whether lawfully or unlawfully, asked to step aside until the appropriate body takes decision on it. So
But,
the timing.
all right,
The
Mr.
timing is
Abiono.
actually wrong. Yes, sir.
Okay, but as it stands now, there seems to be a vacuum in Osun State as regards head of the judiciary, and that's 4 days after Oyebola Ojo's suspension. What is the way forward?
Well, after people, where there are, I think when the government saw that there were public outcry about the decision, we are trying to backtrack now from the statement of the Commissioner for Enlightenment and Public Enlightenment. He said today that they never asked, there was no approval of the resolution that they should step aside. The implication is that they have retracted the earlier statement and saying that the governor didn't ask the CJ to step aside. So, as it stands, we still have our substantive CJ in Osun State, Justice Ojo, Chief Justice Ojo.
All right. I'm finding it difficult to get, all of your words, but then I must sincerely appreciate you for talking to us. Chairman, NB Osogbo Branch, Yemi Abiono, thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7.
My pleasure.